Hello, everybody. How are we doing this evening? It's what is today? Tuesday evening. It is September 27th. My days are all mixed up. I hope everyone is doing great this evening. Come on in the room and let's get started. Let's get started. Let's see what we got going on. I'm sorry. Hey, Instagram. Make sure they are on live and everything. I hope we all are having a good evening tonight and everybody is doing well. We're going to start with some housekeeping things. Please, everybody, when you can, go to YouTube. It is Grow with Yo-Yo, and subscribe and like and share Let's Grow with Yo-Yo on Facebook so we could get our algorithms up. All right. And on Instagram, it is Yo-Yo7393001. So go over there and like that, and we're going to get started. All right, y'all. So as you know, we have an election coming up. So before I start doing the Did You Know in Black History, I want to go over some registration dates that are coming up to end. So you can get in there and register. All right. This is for the deadlines by state. I only have like 15 states. I haven't done all of the states, but I will get them in by next week. Alabama, October 24th. Louisiana, October 11th. Oregon, October 18th. Tennessee, October 11th. Texas, October 11th. Virginia, October 17th. Florida, October 11th. California, October 24th. New York, October 14th. North Carolina, October 14th. South Carolina, October 11th. Michigan, October 24th. Alaska, October 9th. Arizona, October 11th. And Arkansas, October 11th. Again, the dates that you have to be registered by state, I'm going to go over them one more time. Alabama, you need to be registered by October 24th. Louisiana, October 11th. Oregon, October 18th. Tennessee, October 11th. Texas, October 11th. Virginia, October 17th. Florida, October 11th. California, October 24th. North Carolina, October 14th. South Carolina, October 11th. Michigan, October 24th. Alaska, October 9th. Arizona, October 11th. And Arkansas, October 11th. Those are the days that you have to be registered by to vote in the election in November. All right? Those are the states that I have right now. I will come back next week and give you the rest of the states. All right, y'all. Now let's get to your Did You Know in Black History. Hi, Prophetess Keisha. How are you this evening? All right, y'all. Here we go. This December marks 129 years since the passing of Elaine Garrison Clark. Y'all, I didn't know who this woman was until I was researching some stuff about Black history and she came up. Elaine Garrison Clark, a Black anti-slavery activist, civil rights advocate, and educator. Miss Elaine Garrison Clark was born free, y'all. She was born free. She was not a slave. She was born free in Concord, Massachusetts on April 24th, 1823. Owned by no one. This is what they said, that she wasn't owned by anyone. She used her position to travel throughout the South for many years, teaching former slaves to read and to write. Miss Clark protected her citizenry with a passport, which confirmed that she had a status of a free woman. I guess back in those days, you had to have something showing that you were a free woman, and she kept a passport with her status on it. During the Civil War, she worked as an educator in a private school in Newport, Rhode Island. She also worked throughout Virginia and Maryland with the American Missionary Association, where, in the face of hostile racism, that was still a thing, still slavery, she taught formerly enslaved people to read and write. This activity came at a high cost. She was beaten, she was harassed, she was stoned. Do you know they were still stoning people back then? You thought that went away? No. Miss Clark carried on until 1870, when the American Missionary Association terminated her job due to funding cuts. However, Pennsylvania Quakers later hired Mrs. Clark to work at black schools in North Carolina and started new schools, increasing access to education for formerly enslaved people. Miss Clark also is a civil rights activist. In May 1866, she was removed from a segregated waiting room in Baltimore train station because of her skin color. And she sued the Baltimore train station. However, due to illegal backdoor maneuvering, the court changed the hearing dates without giving her notice, and dismissed the case as failure to show. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm about to read this to y'all, and I feel a little crazy because I didn't know that there was a Civil Rights Act of 1866. I did not know that. Hi, Miss Valerie. How are you? I didn't know there was a Civil Rights Act of 1866. But that was the first U.S. federal law to define citizenship and affirm to all citizens that are equally protected by law, especially African Americans. In the wake of the American Civil War, this was to protect civil rights of persons of African descent born in or brought to the United States. This act was passed by Congress in 1866. Y'all, I thought, and I'm not even going to pretend like I knew this. I didn't know this. I thought the only Civil Rights Act thing was in 1964. But this was the first Civil Rights Act. So that is your Did You Know in Black History. Y'all, you're welcome, Prophetess. This was amazing to me. Well, tonight, I'm going to give you a synopsis of what I'm going to say. Forgiveness, the action or process of forgiving or being forgiven. Another definition of forgiveness is a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings or resentment or vengeance toward a person or group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness. Now, y'all know this is the F word that people do not want to talk about. This is the F word that people cannot stand. This is the F word that people would rather not say. But we're going to talk about it today. All right. I'm all off course. This was not what I was supposed to be talking about tonight. I was supposed to be talking about Christianity versus religion, but I moved that to next week because this was so heavy on my heart. Forgiveness. Now I'm going to ask the question. How many of you have had a hard time to forgive anybody? I mean, a parent, a spouse, an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, whomever. Have you had a time where you just could not forgive someone for what they've done to you? I'll be the first to say, it took me a long time to understand forgiveness, to even want to forgive someone. That's right. Raise your hand because, baby, let me tell you something. It was me. I could not forgive. I didn't know that, holding on to something as frugal as forgiveness can do damage to me. Right. And I was reading a scripture, and why I did not write that scripture down because I thought I was going to remember it. But God talks about forgiving. That's right, prophetess. Been in that place. I have. I was reading. I was doing my daily devotions, and I was reading a scripture about forgiveness, and I'm like, Lord, I feel like I have forgiven everybody that I need to forgive. I should be good. Well, guess what? That's a lie, because in that time, stuff started coming back up where I thought that I forgave this person, that person. And I was like, but when I see him, I don't have no, yes, damage naturally and spiritually. Yes. Like, what in the world? Like, I'm confused. So I was sitting there and I was like, God, I thought I forgave that person. He was like, because if someone brings that person's name up, I get, ugh, like, I don't even want to talk to that person. I don't care. I don't care. He was like, you totally didn't forgive him. You say you have, but you didn't, right? And I'm like, but God, I thought I did. Go to them. I did today. Actually, I did. This is why I'm doing a series on forgiveness, because, okay, let me say this. It is a heart posture, right? Does everybody understand that? It is a heart posture. We can say in our mind, oh, I forgive them. I forgive them. But if your heart isn't pure, you haven't forgiven them. And that's what my download, what the Lord gave me today, y'all. If you in your heart didn't truly forgive them, so how can you say you forgave them? Feel some kind of way? Yes. You are released when you forgive. Yes, you are released when you forgive. However, a lot of people say, oh, I forgive this person, I forgive this person, I forgive this person. But how many times do you walk into a room and that person is there and your whole attitude changes? Your whole mood changes. Guess what? You really haven't forgiven them. It could be a parent, it could be a sibling, like a load dropped. Yes. So I was like, Lord, oh my gosh, I cannot believe. But my heart posture was completely wrong. I didn't have the heart. I thought in my mind that I had forgiven this person. I thought I did. I was cool with it. And I don't think about the person. I don't talk about the person, whatever. So whatever it may be. I don't care. I don't do it. But I didn't forgive them. I forgave parts, but not all. And I didn't know that you could forgive someone for partially for what they've done to you, but not all. That's right, heart posture. Your heart posture. I'm telling you, God looks at your heart. He don't worry. He wants your mind to be right, but honey, he got to get that heart. Because what that says, out of the heart, the mouth speaketh, not out of the mind, but out of your heart. So what's in your heart, right? So I was like, oh my gosh. So in that instance, I was like, oh my God, what is it about this person that I did not fully forgive? Like, tell me, I need to figure this out. And everything came back. And so let me tell you something. I had to call. First of all, I had to find a number because I deleted the number and out my phone. So I'm thinking, trying to remember what is it. And of course, I don't never forget numbers, but I wanted to make sure it was the right number. So I text, and it was a person. And I called them, asked them if I could call them. I called them, and I asked them, I said, I've been sitting here and I thought that I have really forgiven you for everything that transpired between us. Not just forgiving you, but forgive myself for the things that I've done to you. Because I was wrong in areas. I can't blame you for, oh, excuse me, I can't blame you for X, Y, and Z and not take responsibility for my X, Y, and Z when I thought I did. I said, if you can please forgive me. That's what I called you for. And then I went and prayed and asked God to forgive me because I thought that I was completely done and over it. Forgiveness is so hard. And I'm going to say this, and I hope y'all listen to me. My mother passed in 2007. In 2007, before my mother passed, or 2006, before my mother passed, my mother had a heart attack. And I was her caregiver, or her, what is the person? The person that took care of her money, health, all that. And she told me she wanted me to sign a DNR. I didn't talk it over with my siblings. I said, okay, sign a DNR. While she was in the hospital, the doctor asked her, that's what it, and I signed a DNR. I was okay with it because my mother said that she did not want to keep getting her body beat up and all this other stuff. It was too much for her to take, right? Well, when she passed, and I told my siblings that they asked, well, did they try to resuscitate her? This and other. I said no, because mommy had me sign a DNR. They were mad at me, in turn made me mad at them because I signed the DNR because that was my mother. That's what my mother wanted me to do. And they were mad because I didn't talk it over with them. I was mad because y'all wasn't here for me to talk it over with you with. And to get all three of y'all, all four of us on a phone call at the same time was not possible. So I did what our mother asked us to do. Did you know that? Hello, Pastor Paulette and Pastor Howard. Did you know it took, I want to say 2009? No, that's a lie. 2019 for my sister and my older brother. But in 2015, 16 for my baby brother. Me and him sat down and talked about it. And I forgave him and he forgave me. I was mad at y'all because y'all were mad at me and I couldn't forgive you for doing it. Now we're going to fast forward to 2019 when my younger brother was killed and my sister and my brother were here. And we were talking about a lot of things. And I said that hurt me because y'all were not here. And then y'all were mad at me for doing something that mommy wanted me to do. I regret it at times because, like, what if she was still here? God, I can't believe I did that. I was like, what is wrong with me? Why would I do that to my mom? So I had to forgive myself in the process. And I had to forgive them. It was hard, and it's still kind of, we talked about it, right? I talked to my counselor. Listen, my counselor, well, I don't have her anymore, but the counselor that I did have, she was a Black lady, and honey, she told me, she said, girl, get over it. All right. You need to forgive and move on. You can't sit up here and hold that grudge because it was what your mother required of you to do. Why are you mad at them? That's not your burden or your cross to bear. Okay. I had to forgive myself because I felt guilty, right? Y'all, listen. That was a relief when I finally let it go. Well, today, it was not that. It was something similar, but not similar. This person actually hurt me um mentally, physically, emotionally, and all over the place, right? I forgave for the physical part, but I didn't forgive for the emotional part that was hurt. And I thought it was all in one, but it was not. So we have to have the heart posture to forgive totally, not only the person, but yourself. And again, I had to think about the things that I've done to that person for me, uh, um, so I can forgive and not hurt or keep going around hurting people or anything like that because of unforgiveness. And not only with the unforgiveness part, but do you know, this is another download today, that when you are hold on to grudges and you hold on to that unforgiveness, that it causes illnesses in your body. People get migraines, heart conditions, um, physical ailments because of the anger and the hurt that you hold on to in your body for unforgiveness. Why would we do that to ourselves? Why are we doing that to ourselves? Why would we put ourselves in that kind of predicament? So that's what I wanted to talk to tonight about, because how can you forgive someone when your heart is broken? How can you forgive someone when they're your mother, your uncle, your brother, your cousin? They are supposed to be there to protect you and they do not. How? I can say pray about it. I can say pray about it. That's going to help. But also taking time to look inside yourself and to see why holding on. That doesn't mean just because you forgive them and forgive yourself that you have to go back and talk to them again. You got to be friends with them. I'm not saying all that, because you don't have to do none of that. You don't have to go and be friends and all the other stuff. No, I don't want you to do that. What I'm saying is, in the process of forgiving, sometimes you may say, Lord, I don't know this I don't know where this person is. I don't know what, but help them forgive me for what I've done. Help me to forgive them for what they've done. Like, I had the person's number, so I called and asked for forgiveness. Now listen, whether or not this person forgives me is on them. I asked for the forgiveness. I asked God to help me forgive myself. Now, whether or not that person forgives me is on them. I released it. It's gone. Prayerfully, I won't have all those things riled up in me again about this person, because I want to be free of that part of unforgiveness. I'm sorry, I got my eyes itching. Now, forgiveness is not always about the other person. When I said I had to forgive myself, there are things that I have done to me, like me, like yo. There's things that I've done to myself. I put myself in predicaments that I shouldn't have. I put myself in situations that, now that I think about it, was crazy. I could have been killed. I could have been in jail somewhere, right? So I had to learn, okay, Yomi, that was the past. You can't keep holding on to that. you know, that you learned from it. Did you learn from it? Did you learn? Did you learn? Did you learn from it? Did you understand what happened, why it happened, and why you did this to yourself? And ask yourself for forgiveness. I had to ask myself, okay, can you forgive yourself? I'm asking Yomi, Yo-Yo, to forgive herself for the things that she has done to her. The things that have done to myself, I had to ask for forgiveness. I went to God, I prayed about it. I am like, Lord, I don't want this burden of things that I've done to myself anymore. I'm glad you bring it into myself. I'm glad you bring it into my remembrance, but purify my heart, clean my heart of those things. But I don't ever want to forget them, but purify my heart from them so I will not go back that way and hurt myself in that area again. Forgiveness. We have to learn how to forgive people and ourselves. So that is what I wanted to talk about tonight. I wanted to make sure we all understand that forgiveness is a part of healing. Healing that you need to do for yourself, healing so you can release that other person or persons that have done something to you, and that you can get your heart posture correct with God and yourself. You don't want this to be messed up. This is a battlefield every day. We know that. But you want this to be pure. You want your heart to be pure and with forgiveness inside, that you know that you are truly grateful for what you've been through and what you're have gone through, and that you can forgive yourself. Another thing, when I say having the heart posture, and I was listening to my best friend last night, and something she said to me when she was preaching, and she said that she stood by Pastor Juanita Bynum when she said you can't listen to secular music and get your mind right and praise God. I can't tell you not to listen to secular music. That's what you want to do. But I realized when I listen to some secular music, the other side, Shameen comes out and she ready to throw them bows and nuck if you buck. I mean, what do you want to do? That right there, I can't do that. So I had to forgive myself for that. Even though that part of me is sleeping, she ain't dead, and I need her to go away. I need forgiveness for growth. Yes, forgiveness helps you grow. It comes with maturity. But you and I talk about forgiveness a lot. Kim, Inez Williams, we talk about that a lot. And I know there's times where I'm like, I can't forgive this person, but I know I need to. And I go back in my little closet and I be like, Lord, help. Because I can't forgive on my own. Right? I can't forget. How do you think I could be friends with so many, or not friends, but associates with so many people, or see people and be like, hey, how you doing? And stuff like that. And be really sincere about their well-being, even after they hurt me. It doesn't happen overnight. Please understand. It doesn't happen in a blink of an eye. It takes years. And it's going to take time. But you have to really commit in forgiving yourself and that other person. And as Inez says, you need forgiveness to grow. And we all need forgiveness to grow. Growth is a wonderful thing. It ain't easy. Just because you are considered an adult does not mean that you have grown up yet. If you still carrying unforgiveness in your heart or in your ways of living. Holding grudges keeps you stuck. Yes, holding grudges keep you stuck. People hold grudges for years. And it's like let's think about that. You can hold a grudge. You can say, I can't stand this person. This person done X, Y, and Z to me. That person has moved on with their life, ain't thought about you no more, but you're still holding on to a grudge of unhealing and hurt and unforgiveness. And you the one running around here with attitude. You said, I am people. Yes. Yeah. Raise your hand, girl. Raise your hand high. Because that's a part of life. But we need to forgive. We need to forgive. We need to forgive to, I don't want to say be successful, but be successful. Do you understand that? Like to grow in yourself, in your livelihood as an adult, as a grown woman. Like you have to be able to forget. That does not, again, it does not mean that person is allowed to come back into your space. They can if you wanted to, but that's not what they should be able to do. But if they do, and you allow that, that's on you. But you should know how to treat that person. That person may or may not hurt you again. But forgiveness helps you grow. Holding on to grudges and releasing that is so much weight off of you. Give it back to God, honey. Ask whomever hurt you for forgiveness if that's what you are led to do. You don't have to ask for it, but it's a good thing to go and ask that person for forgiveness because now you're releasing it off of you and asking them to forgive you. So forgiveness is a really important aspect in this growth, this growing process, this healing process, and in life. My daughters, I tell them all the time, forgive me for anything I've done to you. Truthfully, forgive me. And I have to forgive myself for things that I have done as a mother because I was not all the way to go. Doesn't mean I didn't love them. But I needed to forgive myself too for the things that I've done to them because I didn't know. But forgiveness is a part of our life. It releases us of all this hurt and pain. It releases our heart. It releases us from all ailments that we might come because listen, stress, they say stress kills. Unforgiveness can kill you too. Because you're holding so much inside of you to where you don't heal and your body reacts to that unforgiveness. I just wanted to come here and talk with y'all about that tonight for a little bit. I wasn't going to be on here long. I am having a complete hot flash and I need to get out of clothes. So listen, work on your forgiveness, work on your heart posture, go before God and ask him to reveal to you things and areas that you need to learn how to grow, to forgive yourself and others for things that have been done to you and what you have done to someone else. I love you all very much. Don't forget, if you haven't registered to vote in these states that I have said, Please go register to vote. Before I get off of here tonight, let me tell you something. The reason why I'm pushing you all to vote, not only vote, but understand who you are voting for. The reason why, I love you too. The reason why I say this is because I'm gonna give an example. There's a what's it called? I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell y'all to make sure I get it right. It is a bill. It's a Proposition A on Texas that's coming up, right? To decriminalize low-level marijuana offenses. That means, let's say you have, do they say joints now? I don't know. A joint, and you're gonna smoke. They want to decriminalize, make it to where it's not going on your record. You just get a ticket and go. So that's Proposition A here in Texas. I'm not sure about other states, but I know that's one that's coming on here. Also, the abortion ban law in some states is on the ballot. Now, let me tell y'all something. When y'all look at these ballots and y'all look and y'all don't understand, if it's a double negative, if it's saying no, you don't have, or they don't have, if it's a double negative, meaning they are saying you won't be able to do this, that, and the other, that means that it will happen, right? That it will happen. So vote no. That's how they get you with the wording, because some people do not understand. Look up your mayors, senators, DAs, judges, attorney generals, governors in your state. This is a big election, and it will determine the outcome of the next 2 years of your state. Hey, Nate, I love you too. So please, 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 I will give next week when we go into my Christian versus religion, I will have the rest of the states to let you all know when to have your registration by. Okay? I love you all. You all have a blessed and wonderful evening. I'm about to get in some fans under some AC. Love y'all. Have a good night.